Record. All right, girls, thank you for being patient with me while I got the computer up and running. It is Wednesday, August 9th. Welcome to tonight's Team Living Healthy and Fit team call. Tonight we are going to go over 5 personal musts for success and motivation. Okay, this was actually Brendon Burchard's presentation and kind of my takeaways from his presentation while we were at Summit a couple weeks ago. So hopefully this kind of resonates with you all and gives you some pointers on creating that motivation and that success that you're looking for, not only in your own health and fitness, but in your business and, you know, really applying this to anything in life. Okay, you guys? Hi, buddy. He's like, cool, I'm on TV, yay. All right, cool. So I want to say before we get started with this presentation, though, that, you know, a lot of times we're like, why can't I get myself motivated? Or why can't I just follow through? Or why can't I just do it? And you guys, willpower is not enough. Okay, if willpower were enough, we would not have an obesity epidemic in our country. We would all be super successful. Nobody would be lazy, but willpower is not enough. Okay, we have to have a plan of action to keep us on pace. Okay, for those days that we don't feel like showing up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit screen share so that I can share this presentation with you all, and we can move along and get going. All right, can everybody see that okay? Yep, cool. All right, so 5 personal musts for motivation and success. The 5 tips are, number 1, I must raise my ambitions. I must raise my ambitions. Number 2, live each day with intention. Number 3, I must no longer fear rejection. Number 4, I must jump in and face my fears. Number 5, I must find something to fight for. Okay? So I'm going to go through all of those one by one. So if you didn't get them all written down, it's I must raise my ambitions, live each day with intention. I must no longer fear rejection. I must jump in and face my fears. And I must find something to fight for. So number 1, I must raise my ambitions. This is refusing to settle, you guys. This is refusing to live mediocre. Each and every single one of you that has joined this team and who is on this call right now is here for a reason. You are sick and tired of the situation that you are in and you are ready for change, right? You are ready to move above that comfort zone and that mediocre status, right? Just hitting the status quo. Something inside you either is driving you to do better for yourself, to do better for your family, or to do both, okay? 98% of the population will settle for mediocre. Will settle for going to a job that they hate from 9 to 5, spending the majority of their life at a job that they hate and just going through the motions because it pays the bills. And oftentimes it barely pays the bills. Like, how many people do you know, and maybe you are right now living paycheck to paycheck, just scraping by to make ends meet, just going through the motions because that's what we're told to do as kids. You grow up, you go to school, you get a job, you work the rest of your life until you can retire and Social Security takes care of you, or maybe takes care of you, right? That's what a lot of us have grown up thinking. That's what the majority of people want us to fit that mold. But I believe in my heart that we are presented with this opportunity, and you are here for a reason, because you desire to be more than that 98%. You desire to have more in life than just the mediocre. Never limit your vision because of your past or current circumstances, okay? Never limit your ability to envision something greater than what you have now. Sometimes it's difficult to do because we're so consumed with everyday life and what's happening right now. But that's one of the reasons that we do visualization in our miracle morning first thing to start our day, and to empower our minds before we go to bed every night, because creating that vision is what is going to help us push through to create our reality. Okay, so Brendon Burchard, who is an incredible speaker, you guys, if you're not following him on social media or listening to his podcast or listening to his audiobooks, I strongly encourage you to start diving into Brendon Burchard, because he was amazing at Summit. And that was really the first encounter I had had with him. I am right now listening to his new book, Something Motivation. I can't think of what it is right this minute. I'm currently listening to that book, and it is amazing. He just has such a positive outlook on life. But what is amazing about him is he's a very successful motivational speaker, life coach, public speaker, who has just really done very well for himself. And he came from very low poverty. I mean, very, very low. He told a story. There's a chat. Hold on. Let me see. Motivation Manifesto. Yes. Thank you, Karina. That is the book that I'm listening to right now. Brendon was telling us about how he lived in this tiny little shack, and he actually showed a picture of it, this tiny little shack when he was growing up. And his family didn't have any money, like none at all. And at one point, in the dead of winter, they're from Montana, and the winters are very, very harsh there, like negative 20 and 30 below, very, very harsh. Their heat was turned off because they didn't have the money to pay for their heat. And his mom, who never skipped a beat, went to the garage, got a tent, set the tent up in their small little living room, and they all huddled in this tiny little tent with a tiny little heater that they had to keep warm through the night. And Brendon went to school and was telling all of his friends, because he thought it was cool. She made it fun. She made it so that they didn't even realize that they were in a bad situation, okay? Looking at the cup half full rather than half empty. It's all about perception. But what he shared is that was his motivation, okay? He didn't ever want to have to live or be in that situation again. So that was a driving force for him to raise his standards and do something bigger with his life. So dream big. Don't be afraid to set the bar high, you guys. The higher that we set the bar, sure, it seems unobtainable at the time, but that's what causes us to stretch beyond our comfort zone. And let me just tell you a little secret. When you're wearing thin, or you feel like you don't have any more to give, and you feel like you've been stretched to the max, and you just don't know if you can keep going, that's when you have to dig deep and push harder. That's when you are on the brink of huge growth and great success. It's just like when you're in your workout and you're on those last couple reps and it starts to burn and it's hurting. That's when the muscle fibers of the tissue fibers of your muscles start to break down, and then that's when they start to grow and build. When you feel stretched, when you're pushing for your goals, you have to just keep digging a little bit deeper. So raise your standards and the universe will meet you there, okay? What we put out is what we get back. So when we visualize these grand dreams and these amazing things that we want to experience in life, which we're going to talk about a little bit later on in the slides, when we visualize those, we are putting into the universe what we want to come back to us, okay? So moving on to number 2, live each day with intention. Don't just go through the motions, you guys. This is a gift, and I know that life gets busy, and I know that there's struggles that come up, and it's challenging to find a second to breathe on some days. But not only from this presentation, but this is something I've realized even more since January, when my aunt suffered from her brain aneurysm. Live your life with intention. Live your life with purpose. Because not any of us, I don't care how well we take care of ourselves and how much we push for health and wellness, none of us are guaranteed for tomorrow. What do you want your legacy to be? Live your life with intention. Have a purpose every day to love your family, to love yourself, to love your life, and to have purpose. Give yourself the permission to live your dreams. So many times we tell ourselves, oh, I really don't deserve that, or I don't think I can obtain that, or she had it so much easier than me, so she really deserves it, or whatever. Like, there's all these different doubts that cloud our minds and really keep us from our full potential. Give yourself the permission right now. Tell yourself, I deserve my dreams. I deserve to accomplish or have or experience X, Y, and Z. You do deserve that. Okay? So give yourself that permission to start working towards that and to be open to receiving that. 3 questions that you can ask yourself every single day before you go to bed to know if you're living life with intention. Did I love today? Did I live today? And did I matter today? If you can answer yes to all of those each night before you go to bed, then you are living life with purpose and intention. If you can't answer yes to one of them, then maybe it's time to reevaluate some of the priorities that you've set in your life or the way that you do things. But to really live life in fulfillment and intention, we must love every day. We must live and embrace every single day that we have, and we must matter. We must make our imprint on the world, okay? Number 3, I must no longer fear rejection. How many of you, I'm gonna open this up so I can see all of your faces. How many of you are terrified of the word no? Be honest, like there's still times it kind of throws me off. Why? Because when we're kids, we're taught no, don't touch that. No, don't do that. No, don't do this. No, don't do that. So we're conditioned that no is a negative thing. So we try to avoid the no, right? Because we don't want to be in trouble. We don't want to have that rejection. We don't want to be yelled at. We want to fit in and we want to, abide by the rules. But don't let the word no, it's a word. Let's be honest. It's a word. Stand between the actions that you're going to take to accomplish your biggest dreams in life and having them. If we allow the word no to hold us back, we're allowing 2 letters to stop us from our greatest potential, from living life with intention, from making our mark on the world, from creating our legacy. Now, when you think about it like that, doesn't it sound absolutely ridiculous? It's a word. So when we're talking about inviting people to the coaching opportunity, inviting people to a challenge group, inviting people to a free group, and they might say no, but guess what? They might say yes. And you just might be what they needed at that point in time, because we never know what somebody's going through unless we reach out and connect and we ask, okay? It's your time. Start believing in yourself. Own the fact that you are an amazing person. Start believing that you are an amazing person and that you have something to offer. That you are here for a reason. Closed doors often lead to greater opportunity. So just because someone says no, or an opportunity that you thought was going to work out, or someone said that they were going to enroll with a challenge pack, and then they don't, it's okay. That's not the end of the world. Are we going to allow that one person who didn't follow through? Because how many times have you personally said you're going to do something and not followed through? We've all been guilty of it, right? Life happens. You feel you're being stretched. And so you let one thing go to kind of get that relief for just a second, and then you find yourself unhappy again. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to have opportunity walk away or the doors to close or to hear the word no. It's often just a redirection into something greater. Okay? And so I already kind of asked, how many of you fear hearing no? Don't let it paralyze you. What is fear? False evidence appearing real. It's not going to hurt you. It's not, the only way it's going to hurt you is if you allow that word to paralyze you and to stop you from taking action on what you know you need to do to accomplish your goals. The fear of rejection, if somebody says something and you're working towards your goals and maybe they have a negative opinion about the meal plan that you're following, or that the workouts that you're doing, or they give you self-doubt, or they make a snide comment while you're walking through the store while you've been working your ass off and they have no idea what your struggles are or what you're doing, and you allow that to take over your thoughts. That's the stuff we got to let go. Okay? Number 4, I must jump in and face my fear. So again, fear has 2 meanings. This is another way to look at it. You can forget everything and run because you're so consumed and paralyzed by the fear of hearing no, or the fear of what others will think, or the fear of rejection. Or you can face everything and rise. You can grow. You can move beyond having that fear and that doubt and become the greatest person that you know that you can be, to rise to your potential, raising that standard. Our dreams are ours and within reach if we are willing to put aside our fears, our excuses, and our limiting beliefs to reach out for them. If living an extraordinary life were simple, everyone would be successful and accomplished. To live an extraordinary life, we must first take extraordinary action. It's not going to come easy, you guys. This business is easy in the actions that we have to take, but it's hard in the sense that you have to dig deep on days and you have to make yourself show up. Nobody's denying that. There's days that it's hard for all of us. But are we willing to sacrifice a little bit of discomfort, maybe a lot of discomfort at times, for a short period of time so that we can live a life that most people are envious of and dream of for the rest of our life? I know I am. And I think that all of you are too, and that's why you're here, is because you're ready to rise above and to face those fears. And number 5, I must find something to fight for. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Walt Disney, absolutely one of my favorite quotes of all time. All of our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. So, to find something to fight for, it's our why. How many times have you heard that? Some of you older coaches are probably sick of hearing the why. But maybe it's because you haven't dug deep enough to really find the answer. It's something, so a lot of us, why? Well, maybe at first it was because you wanted to lose weight and you wanted to be accountable. Then maybe you wanted to inspire some others to make changes because you started to feel really good too, and you just really wanted to kind of help others. Maybe you wanted to, be able to pay for your car, make your car payment, or maybe buy the groceries, or be able to make a savings for your children, or whatever it is for you. Those are all great. But those aren't going to be the ones that make you get out of bed early to grind and hustle. Those aren't going to be the ones that make you push past several no's to get to the yeses. Those aren't going to be the ones that when you're in week 3 of Shift Shop and you're dying because you have no carbs, that you're pushing past the limiting belief that you can make it through the week. It has to be something bigger. We have to peel back the layers of the onion and find out, why do we want each of those things? It's not we want financial freedom. Sure, that's a great thing, but why do you want financial freedom? What does that look like for you? What will you be able to experience when you have financial freedom? God, I can't talk. What will life look like? Will you be able to help certain people that you know could use your help, or donate to an organization that you're very passionate about? It's not just I want to be financially free. It's not just I want to quit my full-time job. Why? We have to keep peeling back the layers of the onion and digging deeper. Why do I want to quit my full-time job? What will life look like if I'm able and when I quit my full-time job? What will I do in place of quitting that full-time job? Maybe it's volunteering your time with a certain organization, different things like that. Really start thinking about, and then after you write a certain thing down, ask yourself why. And then after you say that, ask yourself why again. That's going to help you to lead to the core reason. And I can probably bet that as you move along, your why is going to stem to one thing. You might want several different things in life, right? We all want a lot of different things, at least we should. That's what drives us to do what we do. But if we keep asking ourselves why, it's probably going to come down to a couple core things that really resonate with us. And it's going to be different for every single one of us. But it's identifying what we want personally for us that's going to drive us, that's going to give us that motivation. Because remember, willpower isn't enough. We have to find the reason and the purpose within us to take the action to make it happen. So that's all I have for tonight, girls. We got through that pretty good considering my computer wasn't working. Does anybody have any questions? Any thoughts? You're all looking away like you're in school, like, don't call on me. I don't want her to call on me. No questions? Oh. Dana, are you trying to talk to us? Or are you talking to the, no, okay. All right, girls, well, if we don't have any questions, I'll let you all go, except for Karina and Dana, if you can stay on for our team cut call. I'm gonna stop the recording.